My name is Sunny. I'm 21 years old and I have a successful career in web design. All of my childhood, my dad encouraged me to work hard at what I wanted and promised that it would always come to an end.
Remember, Sunny, that we give what we get. If you put the work in, you get the reward. If there's ever a case when this isn't true, then you should consider moving on.
My dad died last year, and things have been so hard since. I loved him with all my heart. And so when he left, I had a big blank space to fill. I tried to do it with work, but there was a point in which I had to admit that I was testing the limits of what my work could do for me. Then, only a week after my father died, my mother came to me.
I'm sorry I asked you to do so much work for the funeral. I know it hasn't been easy for you. I just couldn't do it.
Things were okay for a while. I worked and helped my mom. She was spending more and more time with me at my place until, a few months after her arrival, I realized that she had moved in. Mom, are you living here now?
You don't want me to? I can move away if you want, but I just thought, since we're the last of each other's family, we'd want to be closer. If I got that wrong, though, that's okay. I can call my landlord, see if she'll give me my place back.
No, of course, it's fine. You're right. We're family. At the time, I thought I was being selfish, but I had a needling annoyance that this had happened without her actually talking to me. It was okay having my mother there. She helped me make food, darned my clothes, and cleaned. I was able to get on with my work without needing to worry about everything else.
Why are you always in your room? I thought by living here we would be able to spend more time together, but you never come out.
I'm sorry, Mom. I'm just busy working. I've got my business set up, but I need to keep at it to gain the right kind of reputation. Besides, we do spend time together.
Are you accusing me of being a liar?
What? No, what are you talking about?
You're angry at me. I just wanted us to spend time together. Is that so wrong?
I didn't mean to imply— No, Mom, it wasn't wrong. I'll take a half day next week. We can go shopping. How about that?
That sounds good, actually. You can buy me something nice to make up for all this emotional distress.
I thought she had been joking, but she wasn't. When we got to the mall, we got a coffee, and then ate at an expensive brunch restaurant. She drank mimosa after mimosa, and then we went to a jewelry store.
Here, these are nice earrings.
She'd pointed out a pair of gold earrings with a sizable emerald in each. There were no price tags in sight, so I knew already that it would be extremely expensive. But I also understood in that moment that buying my mother those earrings would make her understand that I loved and appreciated her. What I didn't know was that I would then be setting the bar so ridiculously high that she would never be satisfied. In the year that followed, I was forced to do more work in less time. I had to both earn more money and spend more time with my mother. I couldn't afford to keep up with her demands in every sense. I was losing sleep to my work.
Am I boring you?
I had tried to swallow the third yawn in the last 15 minutes, but I was drowning in exhaustion. I didn't think I was going to make it for another hour, but her sudden anger did wonders to wake me up. Sorry, Mom. I'm just tired. I was up late working. I have to cover the credit card bill from last month.
And I suppose that's my fault?
I never said that, Mom. Come on. I just meant that I didn't get a lot of sleep and I'm tired. Sorry.
Okay. Well, you make sure you get some sleep tonight, all right? We've got a long day tomorrow.
Yes, Mom. The next day, I had agreed to drive my mom to the big city for a real day out. I had neither the time nor the money, but when I brought this up, she told me that I was taking advantage of her.
Didn't losing your father teach you anything? I'm only here for a limited time, darling. You've got to make the most of it.
So we went to the city, and my mom bought herself a dozen things, claiming they were gifts from her doting daughter. And I felt myself slipping into a depression like I hadn't felt since my father's death. Every swipe of my credit card was another month of sleepless nights, which meant more time away from my mother, which would make her angry, and I'd only be able to remedy it by buying her more things. I could have cried, but I know if I did, my mother would have been angry that I was ruining her day with my bad mood. I tried to reason with her instead. Mom, please, I can't afford to keep paying for all of this. Please stop.
Your father used to buy me so many gifts. I feel his absence the most on the days that I don't get any gifts. But you can get through this. How about next month when we come back, I'll spend less.
Okay, sure. It wasn't the compromise I had wanted, nor did it actually help all that much, but I couldn't complain. She'd offered to be better, and I had to accept that. The next 3 months went by, and things were getting worse. It became clear that my mother, who demanded more of my time with each passing week, had also been spending money on my credit card without my permission. "Mom, this bill is more than I make in a month. I won't be able to afford my rent. I can't believe you'd buy yourself a holiday without asking."
You said it was okay.
I was too stunned to say anything at first, but then I realized that she was trying to make me doubt myself. She had, in fact, asked for permission, but she'd never explained the details. "You said you wanted to get out of the house for a while." "This isn't getting out of the house, Mom. This is leaving the country. You booked a vacation to the Bahamas."
Hey, I need a break, damn it. You're always around. I never get any time to myself. Forgive me if I felt like I needed a break.
"Fine, go. I'll just work harder to try and cover the bill while you're gone." While my mom was gone, I worked. I didn't sleep. I didn't even turn on the lights or eat much so that I could save myself some money. I was desperate to try and make a dent in the debt my mother had gotten us into. When she came back, she found me on the floor of the bathroom, too sick to move. I went to the hospital and they treated me for exhaustion and recommended bed rest for a month.
You need to take a rest. You're wearing yourself down and you're making yourself sick.
While I was in hospital, my mother didn't visit once. I was more stressed sitting there, doing nothing, than I was at home doing everything. I couldn't afford to take a break. I knew I had to get back home soon. When the stress got to me, I checked myself out against medical advice and raced home to get back to work. When I got there, I found that my mom had been living off of takeout and there was a brand new tablet on the sofa.
Where have you been? I've been waiting for you.
I was stunned. I couldn't believe her. Not only had she added weight to my financial burden, but she'd almost failed to notice that I wasn't around anymore. I realized then that my father's advice could apply to people.
Remember, Sonny, that we give what we get. If you put the work in, you get the reward. If there's ever a case when this isn't true, then you should consider moving on.
My mom was taking advantage of me, and she'd proven that she didn't care for me at all. It was time to take action. "Mom, I want you to pay me back for everything you bought while I was gone, and then I need you to move out."
You're kicking me out?
"Yes. I can't afford to keep you and your expensive habits, and I certainly can't abide by you not even checking in on me while I was in hospital. You have to leave."
Fine. I'll be gone by the morning.
My mom had a suitcase by the door already, and I suspected that she'd already made plans to leave. However, her plans were temporary, and I needed to make them permanent. She was gone by the time I woke up, and so the first thing I did was contact the fraud hotline from my bank. I explained that my mother had been using my credit card against my wishes, and that she'd racked up bills of thousands of dollars since my father's death. The woman on the phone was very kind.
Emotional manipulation is a very real problem, and I understand how difficult this must be for you. But we will do everything in our power to help you. My first piece of advice is to gather all the evidence. Every bill and any conversation you may have had about money.
I did what she asked. I collected bills, photos of my mother using those items, her boastful social media posts, and screenshotted conversations about me asking her to not spend more money.
Perfect. Sit tight. We'll talk with our lawyers and figure out what to do from here. For now, we'll cancel all current cards and issue you another card. If you still have debt after the case is closed, we'll match you with a consultant to help you through.
Within 2 hours of that call, I received one from my mom. She'd been using my card while she was on holiday in Europe and was incensed to learn that I'd cut her off. I hung up and blocked her number. The next day, the lawyer called and explained that they would be using my hospitalization, my evidence of overwork, and the bills to win the case. Not only that, but my mother had been hoarding my father's life insurance payout. She had hundreds of thousands of dollars stored away and never once thought to use that to fund her increasingly whet appetite for buying things. When she returned from Europe, she was told she had to pay me back and surrender 50% of her earnings. She called me on a new number that same day.
I can't believe you did this to me.
I can, and I know you deserved it, so you're not going to be able to guilt me. I'm only sorry that you pushed me into this. I hung up and turned on the TV. With half of what my dad left us in his will, I was finally able to pay off my debts and take a well-earned break, just as the doctor prescribed.